Chair Budget.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I move that this House adopt the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the budget policy statement for the financial year 2026-2027 and a compendium of departmental committee reports on the 2026 BPS laid on the table of the House Wednesday, 4th March 2026, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 25, subsection 7 of the PFM Act, Cap 412A, and Standing Order 2329 and 10, A, approves the budget policy statement for the financial year 2026-2027. B, makes the following financial resolutions with respect to BPS. 1, that the national government budget ceiling be approved at 2,878,426,500,000, of which 1, the executive will take 2,797,202,700,000, of which the Office of the Auditor General will take 9,026,300,000. Parliament will take 50,782,000,000. Judiciary will take 30,441,800,000. 2, that the allocation to country government equitable share be approved at 420 billion. 3, that consistent with the latest audited and approved revenues, the allocation to equalization fund be set at 9,602,170,425. 4, that the county government additional allocations be approved at Kenya shilling 75,692,700,182, as per the first schedule to the report, which shall form the basis for the county government additional allocations bill for the financial year 2026-2027. 5, that the allocation for the public participation initiatives be approved at 4 billion under the vote 1071 National Treasury. C, resolves that 1, consistent with the resolution of the House of 3rd March 2026 on the 2026 medium-term debt strategy, the fiscal deficit be maintained at 5.3% of the gross domestic product, GDP. 2, that the first schedule to the order paper forms the basis for the sellings for the financial year 2026-2027 budget estimates. 3, the policy resolutions contained in the schedule 2, in the second schedule to the order paper, that is non-financial recommendations relating to the budget policy statement for the financial 2026-2027, shall form the basis for 2026-2027 budget estimates. And 4, the minimal adjustments in the gross ceilings in the second schedule to the report be accommodated in the revenue yield expected from the ongoing administration reforms and the enhanced funding to KRA. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I intended to make a long speech, but I've received wise counsel from the Majority Leader and the leadership of the House that because the BPS that we are processing today is not the final budget, that the House will have another opportunity to discuss the estimates in a couple of months. So, Honorable Speaker, I just want to say that this BPS, the fourth BPS under the Kenya Kwanza government, is also the second BPS under the broad-based government regime. Honorable Speaker, the Majority Leader has spoken more about the manifestos of the Kenya Kwanza regime as well as the manifestos of the broad-based government. And we have said in the past, Honorable Speaker, that the manifestos were more or less similar because of the issues that we wanted to pursue as broad-based government, as the Mio government, were almost the same as the issues that were contained in the manifesto for the Kenya Kwanza regime. And I want to agree with him that even when we are joined together as broad-based government, we are actually aligned in our economic thinking. Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to say that, to thank members of the Budget Committee who worked tirelessly with me to process this BPS. Honorable Speaker, you are aware that BPS is processed under very, very tight timelines. And together and coupled with that, there's a requirement in Article 201 that maximum public participation must be conducted before the document is presented here. So I want to thank the committee, the various committees led by their chairs, who took time to work with us and to be able to come up with this report. Honorable Speaker, in processing this report, we also engaged with various stakeholders, and we were able to speak to the Office of the Auditor General. We also met the Commission for Revenue Allocation, and we also met other stakeholders that also spoke to us about other very important segments of the BPS, which include the shareable allocation to counties. Honorable Speaker, we spoke to the Council of Governors, and they gave us their views about the contents of the BPS. Honorable Speaker, I just want to say that, our economy has been growing steadily, and that in this current financial year, we had projected that the economy would grow by about 5%. But looking at the growth in the first 3 quarters has been very, very promising. In the first quarter, Honorable Speaker, our GDP grew by about 4.9%. In the second quarter, it grew by about 5%. And in the third quarter, it has grown by about 4.9%. So, Honorable Speaker, if you look at those growth percentages, you will see that our projections in the current budget we are actually achieving them. Honorable Speaker, this BPS is equally promising to grow our economy by about 5.3%. And Honorable Speaker, this growth is going to be anchored on a number of factors. The first factor that is going to determine this growth is the agricultural expansion. Honorable Speaker, our economy continues to rely heavily on the performance of agriculture. And agriculture has not let us down, Honorable Speaker. And in this BPS, we have continued to allocate resources that is going to support the projected growth in agriculture, that is going to fuel our growth in GDP. Also, Honorable Speaker, there is the efforts that has been put in place to pay pending bills. Honorable Speaker, pending bills in the road sector has been paid substantially. And because of this, Honorable Speaker, most contractors of stalled projects that had stalled have resumed construction. Mr. Speaker, this is going to have a very big impact in the performance of our economy. Because one, we are going to see, first of all, the performance of the financial sector. Banks are going to begin to release funds to the private sector, and this is going to also to help us in growing the economy. Honorable Speaker, you know that under the program of securitization of fuel levy, which was really most opposed by a few of our members here, this is now the outcome of that process, that program. And Honorable Speaker, if you walk across this country, you see that most of those roads that were stalled are now working. Now, that is going to give us an impact on the economy. Honorable Speaker, we are also focusing on the MSME sector. And Honorable Speaker, you know that the program called Nyota, which is being spearheaded by the President, is not just a program. We are focusing that this program is going to give us a rebound in the economic performance. And it is something that I want to tell the House that even in this budget, we are in this BPS, we have some money that we have put to enhance that program. Honorable Speaker, the other issue that I would like to talk about is housing. Honorable Speaker, the housing program, the affordable housing program, is a very, very important flagship project for this economy. I want to report, Honorable Speaker, as the Chairman of Budget and Appropriations Committee, that the industry sector, which is supported by housing, is rebounding and it is growing steadily, and it is one of the factors that we are going to use to germinate our economy. Honorable Speaker, the biggest problem we have had in the past is revenue, our revenue targets. Honorable Speaker, over the past few years, the revenue projection that we bring to the floor of the House is never realized. And there have been many attempts to be able to, correct this. In the past, Honorable Speaker, there were attempts to increase headcount at KRA, and we were thinking that because KRA needed more staff, that if KRA was resourced to hire more staff, then we would be able to collect more revenues. We realized that this did not give us proper results. So, Honorable Speaker, in this BPS, we have made a deliberate attempt to reorganize KRA, to make KRA, digitize KRA, to make KRA, capable of be able to work and raise for us more revenues. Honorable Speaker, we are doing this because if you look at the percentage of revenues we raise as a percentage of GDP, we are doing about 16%. The total revenue we collect is about 16% to GDP. Honorable Speaker, if you make comparisons to the regional economies, the ones that we compete with, like South Africa, they are doing 25% to GDP. That means, Honorable Speaker, that the structure of our economy is capable of raising more revenues. Honorable Speaker, I'm putting more emphasis on this, on the revenue aspect of my presentation because this is where our problem has been. And Honorable Speaker, the BPS has proposed to allocate 20 billion shillings to KRA for the sake of conducting these reforms. We want KRA to be fully digitalized. We want KRA to be fully automated. We are trying to remove human interface in the process of collecting revenues. We want KRA to be more efficient, and we want KRA to use those resources to expand the tax base. Honorable Speaker, it is true that only a few Kenyans are paying their taxes, that there are so many Kenyans out there, even businesses, that are not paying their taxes. So we want to find a formula that we can use to ensure that we bring more people, we broaden the tax base. Honorable Speaker, if we do this, then we are very certain that for the first time, the revenue projection which we have put at about 2.9 trillion ordinary revenue is something that we can easily realize. Honorable Speaker, in this current financial year, our revenue projection was 2.7 trillion. But to date, we are running at a shortfall of about 100 billion. We are sure that if we improve these systems going forward, then achieving up 20-25% of our GDP as total revenue is something that is possible. Honorable Speaker, I also want to speak about the overall expenditure. The BPS has proposed an overall expenditure of 4.75 trillion. And as I've already read here, Honorable Speaker, this is an improvement of about 300 billion because in this budget, our total expenditure was 4.3 trillion. Honorable Speaker, the national government will continue to take the largest chunk of our revenue, of our budget. And in this BPS, we are proposing a selling of 2.86 trillion for national government. That is an increase of about 317 billion from the approved estimates for this financial year. Honorable Speaker, Parliament, as you have seen, will take about 50 billion. Judicial. So there are overall increases in all these institutions. But Honorable Speaker, you have seen that the transfers to counties will be about 420 billion only. That is an improvement of about 5 billion from this year's estimates. Honorable Speaker, most people that we spoke to have challenged this allocation. They are saying that we need to increase it to about 450 billion. That is a recommendation of CRA, that's a recommendation of the Council of Governors. But Honorable Speaker, we still insist that this is modest and this is achievable. You realize, Honorable Speaker, that when in case of revenue shortages, it is the national government that normally bear that shortage. The amount of resources allocated to counties is never affected. So, Honorable, we have to be very careful also on that so that we do not push more resources to counties. And with the challenges that members of this House are aware of, it is something that we feel is accommodative. Honorable Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity now to take you through the budget ceilings for the various sectors, for members to take note. And Honorable Speaker, I just go take the members through the ceilings for the various sectors. And the sectors are as follows. The first sector that I want to speak about, Honorable Speaker, is one, the agriculture, rural and urban development sector. Honorable Speaker, the ceiling for this sector has been increased by about 17.7%. Honorable Speaker, I spoke about this sector. And I said that we are putting a lot of effort in the agriculture sector because agriculture sector, even from the records that we have, has been performing very, very well. And we have been lucky to get the support of favorable weather. We are hopeful that even in the coming financial year, we are still going to enjoy favorable weather to allow us to enjoy the fruits of the investments we are putting in the agriculture sector. Consequently, Honorable Speaker, the agriculture sector selling is 97 billion and 7. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, I want to speak about the energy infrastructure and ICT sector. Honorable Speaker, this sector has also proposed an increase of about 11.2%, and the proposed BPS allocation to energy infrastructure and ICT sector is 597 billion. Honorable Speaker, let me move to the general economic and commercial affairs sector. This sector has seen an increase of about 6.9%, and the total allocation in the ceiling is 62 billion, 192 million. Honorable Speaker, the other sector is health. Honorable Speaker, this is also one of the sectors that is going to be very instrumental in this BPS. As you are aware, the primary health in the universal health program is intended to address comprehensive health care for all Kenyans, including those who are not able to earn, the poor and the rest. Even though the funding required for universal health care, primary health care, is about 38 billion. In this BPS, we are proposed to allocate about 13 billion. We hope that in the course of the year, we should be able to raise more resources to support primary health care. Consequently, Honorable Speaker, the allocation for health program is 167 billion, 407 million, an increase of 21% from this year's estimates. Honorable Speaker, I want to move to the education sector. The education sector, Honorable Speaker, takes the largest chunk of our budget, always. And even in this BPS, we are proposed to allocate even more. And the education budget is growing by about 9%. From 703 billion in this year's budget to 767 billion in the BPS that we are processing. Honorable Speaker, the next sector is governance, justice, law, and order, where we propose to increase their budget by 16.6% from an allocation of 283 billion to 329.989 billion in the present BPS. Honorable Speaker, the other sector is public administration and international relations. This is where we have the public service, we have the foreign affairs, and etc. In this sector, we are proposing an increase of 10.4%, from an allocation of 321 billion, 503 million to 354 billion, 999 million. Honorable Speaker, the next sector is national security. National security is very, very important, Honorable Speaker. And just for members to know that we have really never funded national security satisfactorily. But we have an increase of 18.2% in this BPS. We are moving there, selling from 253,770 billion to 299,963. That's an increase of 18.2%. Honorable Speaker, the other one is social protection, culture, and recreation, where we are growing there, selling by 18.2% from 78,994 to 87.225 to 87,225 million. Honorable Speaker, the last sector that I want to talk about is environment protection, water, and natural resources, where the budget is growing by 11.3% from an allocation of 95 billion in the current estimates to 106 billion, 706 million. Honorable Speaker, as I mentioned earlier when I began, that the BPS is just prepares us to process the real estimates, which is going to happen in the next few months. So I know members are going to have a very big opportunity to discuss the estimates, and we'll have more opportunity as a House to interrogate the estimates. I would like to ask members to support the BPS 2026.
Give him the mic so that he may. You have the mic.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to urge members to support the BPS. We have made a few changes in the parliamentary service vote, in the security vote, and also in the Auditor General vote, and also as well as judiciary. Remember, the report is here, and every member, I think, has the report. So I would like to urge you members to support this BPS so that we can be able to proceed to the estimates. Therefore, I would like to ask the Vice Chairman of the Budget Appropriations Committee, my brother, Dr. Pukose, to
pronounce yourself on moving.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I therefore move and ask the Vice Chairman to second. I beg to move and ask the Vice Chairman to second.
Bokose.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I second the 2026 budget policy statement that was tabled in this House, and it went through the various committees.